Good evening, good evening, good evening. I welcome all of you to this tax Navratra batch. This is night number 5 and our night number 6, right? And our discussion is going to be on your favorite topic, profits and gains from business or profession. Yes, Kashish is smiling, rather laughing, because she thinks that I am speaking sarcastically. PGBP is unnecessarily overrated topic. आसान है, आज देखेंगे. यस निशिगंधा करेक्ट. CS प्रोफेशनल के लिए भी थोड़ा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो सकता है. Yes, something of 5 marks here and there could be asked for CS professional also. CS executive very important. CA intermediate very important. Yes, so PGBP is such a topic which you can't escape. बट ये देखो यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स ही नहीं आए आज. सैटरडे इवनिंग है, दांडिया खेल रहे. देखो एग्जाम किसकी है? माय एग्जाम और यूर एग्जाम में कभी कभी समझ में नहीं आता. इसलिए मैंने पहले क्या किया पता है? कमिटमेंट चार्जेस ले लिए. अब कमिटमेंट चार्जेस लेने के बाद भी कमिटमेंट नहीं देना आपको, तो व्हाट कैन आई डू? चलो, वी विल नॉट वेस्ट टाइम. हजीर तो वजीर असं मराठीत म्हणतात. हजीर तो वजीर मीन्स those who are attending. Yes, I should do justice to them, right? Chalo, so let's start. Profits and gains from business or profession. What are the section numbers which cover this topic? So section numbers which cover this head of income is 28 to 44. 28 to 44. ध्यान दो, हाँ, ठीक से ध्यान दो. 28 is the charging section. 30 to 37 are sections for deductions and some type of, you can say, allowances. Then 40 series, 40AI, 40AIA, 48-2, 48-3, 43B. This I would say is specific disallowances. Yes, and then 44AB is tax audit. 44AD, ADA and AE is presumptive taxation. Okay, तो आप बोलोगे बस हो गया सर section numbers. Now tell us what exactly we have to do. So yes, we will start now exactly what I want to tell you. Nishigantha, assume a profit and loss account is made. Okay. Darshan, assume profit and loss account is made and nicely net profit is calculated. How is net profit calculated? Sum of credit minus sum of debit. Yes. So why not, Darshan, accept that directly the net profit as PGBP? Why not take that net profit as PGBP, Shraddha? Don't take it because there might be some unnecessary expenses which are debited. Are you getting the point? There could be unnecessary expenses which are debited in P&L account. So what will happen because of that? Because of that, your NP will go down. If I debit my personal expense like drawings, personal traveling expense, yes Ankush, net profit will go down. But net profit has unnecessarily gone down. Yes, and what if I unnecessarily put some items on the credit which are not taxable under the head PGBP? Then unnecessarily NP will go up. So that's why businessman cannot blindly take the NP as PGBP. Darshan, did you understand? There will be some different expectations of Income Tax Act. Yes or no? Income Tax Act will expect you to pay income tax on the profits as per their calculation, isn't it? And right now in the books of accounts you have done your calculation. So your calculation and their calculation should reconcile. your calculation and their calculation should reconcile. Do you agree with this कि ये reconcile होना चाहिए? Yes, no? Yes. Okay, we will come to that issue, Ankush. Okay, so it should tally, isn't it? Tally in the sense reconcile. Yes. Now what happens, friends, if I have unnecessarily debited something? You know, NP has gone down, but my simple question to you is, unnecessary, how will we understand that something is unnecessary? How will we understand that something is unnecessary? Solution बहुत आसान है. Solution is very simple. You have to check what Income Tax Act allows. So what Income Tax Act allows is given in allowances and deductions. Now tell me, which is the section for allowances and deductions? For allowances and deductions, we have section, yes, 30 to 37. Wonderful. मैं ना जानबूझ के कुछ प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं कर रहा हूँ ताकि आपका फुल ध्यान मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ उसके ऊपर. इट्स फाइन ना, बिकॉज ये सब नोट्स तो मैंने आपको भेज दिए हैं. सो माई होल requirement would be you pay attention to me. So Aditya, what happens? You have to identify what is allowed. What is allowed you will understand if you understand 30 to 37. Okay. Now most important section in 30 to 37, do you know is which? Okay, according to Aditya it is 35. According to Kashish it is 32. According to Sukhita it is 35 AD. In my opinion, in practical sense, most important section is section 37. What is 37? General deductions and allowances. Anup, general means what? Any expense which is related to the business of the assessee and which should be revenue in nature and not capital. तो इतना सिंपल है. देखो स्टूडेंट्स, if I go to hotel along with my students, can I claim it as business expense? Of course, and I pay the bill. So can I claim it as business expense? Yes, I can claim it, Kashish, as my business expense. That's the point which I want to tell you, that any expense which are revenue in nature and incurred for the purpose of business or profession is allowed as deduction. क्या समझ में आया? What did you understand? It is general expense. Printing stationery, general. Hotel expenses, general. If I modify the example and tell you like this, if I am into practice as a chartered accountant and I meet my prospective client in hotel and I pay the hotel bill, then will you allow those expenses? Yes. So students in this example are my clients. Atiti Devo Bhava. Yes or no? Students are my clients. I am serving you, isn't it? Maybe it looks like I'm dictating on you, but I'm serving you, isn't it? I'm forcing you that way to sit 9 to 12, but I'm trying to serve you, isn't it? So that way you are my clients. So if I spend for my clients, isn't it my business expense? So should it be allowed? Yes. That's why, friends, I'm saying that 37 is most important in practical life. It should be revenue expense, not capital. It should be incurred in course or furtherance of business. It should be incurred during the PY. Okay. And what criteria we will apply now? We will check. We will go to debit side of P&L account and check whether particular expense is related to business. If answer is yes, it is allowed. If answer is no, it is disallowed. Friends, Aditya, if answer is no, for example, in sole proprietor's P&L account, if you find life insurance premium paid, then it is personal. What will you do with life insurance premium paid? With life insurance premium paid, you will add back to NP. Agreed? Because unnecessarily NP had gone down. Kashish, agreed? Same thing will happen with PPF. Same thing will happen with household expense. Same thing will happen with traveling expenses which are personal in nature. All these things you will keep on adding back because unnecessarily NP has gone down. Are you agreeing with what I'm saying? Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, what you have to do is, you cannot blindly take NP as PGBP. You have to take NP, add expenses debited but not allowed as deductions. तो इसमें क्या क्या आएगा? What all will be covered in this? 1. Personal expenses. 2. Provision for income tax. 3. Actual income tax which is debited. ये सब इसमें आता जाएगा because it is not allowed. It is debited but not allowed. इसमें और क्या आएगा? इसमें आएंगे specific disallowances which we have to learn in those series of section 40. Agreed? And friends, less क्या होगा? जो unnecessarily credit किया है ना, whatever is unnecessarily credited to P&L account, because of that NP has gone up. So what will you do? You will subtract it. What could be examples? Rent received and credited to P&L account. Because you know, rent received for property is taxable under the head income from house property. Yes, very good. Dividend received and credited to P&L account. Interest on savings account, interest on fixed deposits which is credited to P&L account. Yes, any type of capital gains if at all credited to P&L account. आप इनको क्या करोगे सबको? Minus. And what else will you minus? You will also minus specific allowances. Specific allowances like depreciation. उसको आप माइनस करोगे. Specific deductions 35 AD, ये all these things you will minus. And what is the resultant amount that you will get? Resultant amount that you will get will be called as profits and gains from business or profession. Agreed? Sure. So now think, friends, what I told you. I hope you have understood the format now. Typically in your CA intermediate exam, they ask you a question where they give you lot of items on debit side of P&L account and lot of items on credit side of P&L account. What you are supposed to do is reconcile. Start with NP, do this add and do the less, and you will get PGBP. If it's a total income question, you go ahead and take into consideration other heads of income like maybe HP, capital gain, IOS. Then take total of all heads, you will get GTI. From GTI, you take deductions of chapter 6A, 80C to 80U, and then you will get total income. On total income, you calculate tax. Okay. Now, let's go in to the extent possible depth of every possible item. Okay. Revisit the sections which I was telling you. 28 charging section, 30 to 37 deductions and allowances. Now you know the purpose why to do 30 to 37. Why to do? Because these allowances will be allowed, means when they are debited, don't do anything with them. Agreed? When they are debited in P&L account, don't do anything. That's why we are calling them as allowances. And if they are not debited, then you minus them. कुछ समझ में आया मैंने क्या बोला? If they are not debited, you minus them. Okay, because they should have been allowed / deducted, but they are not allowed, so you will minus them. Agreed, all of you? Yes, no? Yes, very good, very good, very good. And finally, why we should do specific disallowances? Because if you do some mischief, what mischief? Some mischief which is given in particular disallowances sections. If you do that mischief, then those amount specifically gets disallowed. Specifically gets disallowed means it will be added to NP while calculating PGBP. Agreed? So shall we start step by step? We will start now with some specific allowances. So we will start with specific allowance of depreciation. Okay. Do I know how depreciation is calculated? Okay, very simple way of calculating depreciation. Aditya, do you know? Anup, do you know that it is calculated on WDV basis? What is WDV? Of course, written down value basis. So how do you calculate depreciation? Diminishing, okay, diminishing balance, okay. Written down value method. Listen carefully. Okay, here I have given you all the things which I discussed till now. You, of course, specific disallowances will discuss as we go ahead. Okay. In order to claim depreciation, do you know that assessee should be owner of the asset? You cannot claim depreciation on asset which you don't own. बाजू वाले के asset पे आप depreciation नहीं ले सकते. You should be owner of that asset in order to claim depreciation. As I told you, it can be claimed on WDV basis, and in income tax it is allowed on it is allowed on block of asset. Do you know concept of block of asset? Block of asset is similar class of assets pooled together. Yes. Sukhetha, examples of block of asset are motor car. Yes. So for motor cars, block of asset depreciation is 15%. For plant and machine general 15%. तो दो blocks के percentages same हो सकते हैं. One or more block can have same percentages. Agreed? So what all you can have? Which all blocks you can have? You can have plant and machine 15%, motor car, yes, 15%, computer. So देखो, I have written the blocks here. Furniture and fittings 10%, buildings other than for residential purpose means office building, factory building 10%, buildings which are used for residential purpose like guest house 5%, motor cars which are used in business of letting them on hire, तो उसका depreciation ज़्यादा है. It's not 15, it is 30. Normal motor cars is 15, but if you are using them in business of giving them on hire, then Shraddha it is 30. 40% for books, including those of annual publication. Yes, Sukheta, very good. Intangible assets के लिए it is 25%. Of course, other than goodwill. and again pollution control equipment, it is 40%. Okay, जो rates मैंने आपको अभी बोले हैं, these are the most important ones. So Falguni, I would say that you do these rates. Okay, preliminary, you remember these rates. Any other rate required will be given in the exam, so don't worry about that. Okay, how to calculate WDV? ध्यान दो, you have to calculate WDV for individual asset or for block. आपको कैसे calculate करनी है? You have to calculate for individual asset or block. So what you do is opening WDV. Opening WDV means last year's closing. Last year's closing means जो last year WDV for depreciation था, उसमें से depreciation minus करने के बाद जो आता है. Okay, I'll tell you, whatever was last year's WDV for depreciation, from that you have subtracted depreciation. That will give you last year's WDV after depreciation. That will become this year's opening WDV. Ankush, understood? Yes. It will be opening WDV. Add additions. Okay. आपने मुझे एक सवाल पूछा था, अंकुश, how do I find such what landscapes on WhatsApp? तो ना उसके लिए शादीशुदा होना जरूरी है. For that you should be married. After marriage you subconsciously get that training. ठीक है ना? फिर तो प्रॉब्लम है. अच्छा, ऐसे आपको देख के याद आ गया आपने क्या पूछा था. हाँ, बट मतलब वो पर्सपेक्टिव बोला था ना मैंने आपको, दैट पर्सपेक्टिव गेट्स डेवलप्ड. अदरवाइज क्या हम जहाँ पे जाते हैं टैक्स का ही सोचते, बट नहीं. ओके, तो ऑटोमेटिक लोग पर्सपेक्टिव डेवलप हो जाता है. जोक्स अपार्ट, यू स्टार्ट लुकिंग एट लाइफ क्रिएटिवली, पर्सपेक्टिव डेवलप हो जाएगा. ओके, ओपनिंग WDV. क्यों डाइवर्ट किया आपको? फिर से वापस आना है. वापस आ जाओ. परसेंटेजेस देखने के बाद वी आर चेकिंग नाउ. Opening WDV, add additions. Additions means purchases at actual cost, okay, which falls in that block during the PY. Means Darshan, earlier I had 5 computers in my opening WDV. 5 computers had WDV of 2 lakhs. Now I purchased 6 more computers having purchase cost of 6 lakhs. So in the opening WDV of whatever amount I told you, this 6 lakh will be added. So opening WDV, add additions. Okay, subtotal less sale proceeds. Exactly आपने उस block में से, from that block you have sold assets for how much? That will be called as sale proceeds. So opening, add additions, subtotal, less sales, that will give you WDV for claiming depreciation. And then you will claim depreciation. Is it clear, Falgun? How to claim depreciation? Once you get WDV, you will observe 2 things. What you will observe? You will observe that from your additions, assets of how much rupees are such assets which are purchased during the year and put to use for less than 180 days. And on that you will claim depreciation at half of normal. Agreed? Means, Shraddha, normally for computers, what is the percentage? Normally for computers it is 40%. Yes, but for, so in my example you had purchased new computers of 6 lakh. From that 6 lakh, suppose 2 lakhs are such which are used for less than 180 days. Then on that 2 lakhs you will claim at Yes, 20%. And for balance WDV you will claim at 40%. Agreed, all of you? Okay, any taking any sums might not be possible. I have again given you very important sums here. Okay, तो आप उनको देख सकते हो. So opening WDV, add additions, subtotal, less sales. Okay, very good question. Aditya is asking, what if used for 180 days exact? So Aditya, then you should take entire, not half, because what they are saying in the section 32 is less than 180 days for assets purchased during the year and put to use for less than 180 days, it is half. Okay, for 180 days and more, means exact 180 days or more than 180 days, it is normal rate. Agreed? And one more thing I want to tell you, don't check, no Falgun, we should not do such what assumption. Okay, you please calculate properly. This is not the criteria directly. Okay, you'll have to calculate on your calci the number of days from the date of purchase till 31st March and then check. Okay, what I wanted to tell you, yes, this put to use for less than 180 days or 180 days or more is to be checked only for assets purchased during the year. Don't check it for existing assets. For existing assets in the block, you will always claim at normal percentage. Did you understand what I said? There was a computer in your opening block. They tell you to confuse you that it was used only for 40 days. Neglect it. Number of days usage is to be checked only for newly purchased assets. Is it clear? Friends, is it clear? Tell me all of you in the chat window what I said. Nahi, Kashish ji, you are going in wrong direction. Opening WDV, add additions, less sale proceeds. Opening WDV, add additions, less sale proceeds. After that you get WDV. Agreed? Whatever assets are there in that WDV, only on that you are calculating depreciation. So even if you are selling asset on the last day, still it is subtracted from the block. Kashish, understood? That's why very important thing is to calculate depreciation not individual asset wise, but to calculate depreciation block wise. So am I calculating on one asset or am I calculating on block? When I am calculating on block, then you will have to do opening WDV, add additions, less sale proceeds from that block, then see what is WDV, and on that WDV claim depreciation. Is it clear? Could you recollect, all of you? Now pay attention very clearly to what I am telling you. It can happen in exceptional cases that sale price is greater than opening WDV plus additions. If sale price is greater than opening WDV plus additions, means what will happen? Opening WDV, add additions, subtotal minus sales. If sales figure is greater, don't you think there will be negative WDV? Agreed? Now WDV cannot be negative. Sale is greater than opening plus additions, means Aditya, in that case there will be short term capital gain. Could you recollect, all of you? Yes, no? Yes, sir. Could you repeat? Darshan? No, Aditya. Block will not cease to exist. Block may not cease to exist. Listen again carefully. I have done example also on this. I will show you the example. Okay, and then after example, remind me. I will discuss with you additional depreciation. Okay. See this example. Okay, for Darshan, Aditya. See this example. Okay, on row number 163. If it is visible, you pay attention here. Okay, I really wish that it is visible to you all. Chalo, otherwise you focus on what I am telling you. Mr. T, carrying on business, purchases 10 computers during PY 21-22 for 10 lakhs. The opening WDV of this block is 12 lakhs. So what is 12 plus 10? 22 lakhs. Okay. During the PY 21-22, 15 computers were sold for 8 lakhs. So can you do 22 lakhs minus 8 lakhs? 14 lakhs. Agreed. And check, earlier you had 10 computers, you had purchased 20. So total you have 30 computers. Out of 30 you have sold 15. So again you have 15 computers. And of this 15 computers, WDV is 14 lakhs. Compute depreciation for AY 22-23, assuming all newly purchased computers were put to use for 180 days or more. So on your 14 lakhs, can you calculate at 40%? 5,60,000. Agreed? 8,40,000 is next year's opening WDV. Agreed? Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, friends, ये तो simple था, next भी simple ही है. But first was a straightforward question on depreciation. Now see what happens. Aditya, what would be answer in the above case, Darshan? If instead of 15 computers, 28 are sold for 23 lakhs instead of 8 lakhs. Now opening WDV plus additions was 22 lakhs. Sale proceeds are 23 lakhs. So there is a 1 lakh rupees short term capital gains. Understood, Darshan? Actually ना सब कुछ आसान करके बताना possible है. It is possible to make everything simple and tell, but time is the only thing. Revision batch is going on, na? Time is the only thing. So that's why daily I am giving you this Excel file, because in Excel file I have simplified the things with example and told you. So maybe in our 3 hours allocated, at the most we can do is touch every point. But ऐसे आपको किसी के point के depth में जाने, if you want to go in depth of any point, this Excel file is always with you. Aditya, in this case, 2 assets continue to exist, isn't it? वो आपको भूल जाना है. You have to forget that, अंकुश. कुछ नहीं. Again, I will tell you one more time that we are doing calculation block wise and not asset wise. Don't get involved in those 2 computers. उसका आपके business में कोई relevance नहीं है. There is no relevance of those 2 assets in your business now. Agreed? And Aditya, see, block of asset has not stopped to exist as such, because 2 assets are still there. But here there is a short term capital gain because sale proceeds are greater than opening WDV plus purchase. Suppose, Ankush, we wouldn't have gone in depth of this, still you would have found the answer here. No effect or implication with respect to 2 assets which are still physically available in this block. दिखा आपको? तो do you know what we do when we do main batch? We take all care that afterwards if student get any doubt, it should get resolved itself, there itself, if that student reads notebook, provided he reads notebook. Okay. Acha. Short term capital gain how much? 1 lakh. Now friends, you will calculate short term capital gains. You know the format of calculating short term capital gains. That will be calculated like this. Okay, that we are going to discuss the format tomorrow, but you know the format. Full value of consideration 23 lakhs, less expense on transfer, nothing. So net sale consideration 23 lakhs. Cost of acquisition and cost of improvement 22 lakhs. So short term capital gains 1 lakh. Agreed? When you sense in the exam that it is no longer a depreciation but there is going to be short term capital gains, then you do this note of short term capital gains, working of short term capital gains. So first always you have to calculate the WDV for claiming depreciation on your calci. If you are getting negative answer, that means STCG is there. Sir, why will the block not cease? No, Aditya, what I am telling you is seizing of block is a different case. We are coming to that here. Means technically we cannot call it as block being seized. Means ideally that is only happening. Block is only seizing. I am not saying no, but technically we don't call it that. Technically when I call as block of assets stops to exist when all assets in the block are sold. That is happening in this case. What would be answer in the original illustration if all 30 computers were sold? Here block of assets stops to exist. Agreed, Aditya? For 20 lakhs. Now you cannot do Komal nahi Shraddha. You cannot do like this. Opening add additions 22 lakhs, less sales 20 lakhs. 2 lakhs is WDV. But 0 assets are there. That's why block of asset we are saying has stopped to exist. 0 assets are there, na? So can you claim depreciation? You cannot claim depreciation. So what happens in that case? You have to understand that there is a short-term capital loss. Why loss? Because opening WDV plus addition was 22 lakhs and sale proceeds is only 20 lakhs. Agreed? Yes, there is a short-term capital loss. Darshan, I hope things are clear. Yes, very good. Yes, my pleasure. What would be answer in the immediately above illustration if all assets were sold for 24 lakhs instead of 20 lakhs? Now again block of assets ceases to exist, but there is a short term capital gain of rupees 4 lakhs. Sorry, 2 lakhs. Yes, 2 lakhs. 24 lakhs minus 22 lakhs. Did you understand, all of you, what is happening? So this was one of the point of discussion in tomorrow's agenda also. Short term capital gains on transfer of depreciable asset. Did you all understand? Kashish, Aditya, yes, wonderful. For CS executive we will take a separate MCQ series. In that MCQ series we'll solve questions on this also. So today's session will help you to connect to the topic MCQ session, you also must have solved MCQs at your end, but what MCQs we solve will further, I mean, you will get a further practice. Sukheta, enjoying? Yes, chalo, let's go ahead. Additional depreciation. What is the additional depreciations rate? It is 20%. It is allowed only on new plant and machine which is used by manufacturing entity. Check. And of course, if plant and machine is put to use for less than 180 days, then it will be allowed at 10% only, and balance 10% will be allowed in next year. Agreed? Yes. So you can do that additional depreciation. You know that additional depreciation concept. Yes, we'll do that also. But that's a very specific concept, Aditya. It is in case of very few entities where SLM basis is followed. Okay, that terminal depreciation is only in few industries. Yes, we will do it, but separately. I don't think it will be possible in today's session, but surely we will do it. Maybe a separate video on that. Okay, so what we discussed right now is 32 and 50. I hope you understood 50 also. Yes, let's go to 35 AD. I will note down that we want a session on terminal depreciation. Yes, just let me note it down. Okay. Friends, 35 AD. Okay, what to do with depreciation which we have learnt? There could be a dedicated question on that, or it could be part of a big PGBP question. In that big PGBP question, depreciation which they have debited, which they have calculated according to their knowledge or according to their understanding, you have to add back because it is unnecessarily debited. So you have to nullify its effect. How to nullify effect? NP would have gone down to the extent of depreciation which they have debited. But according to you, means according to Income Tax Act, what it should be, that should be subtracted because that is allowed. So that's why what we do is we add back depreciation debited and we subtract allowed as per Income Tax Act. Agreed? Yes, wonderful. Then friends, next which becomes important is 35 AD. Before that, let me tell you 35 and a 35, only 35, scientific research. That is also important. But these days, that scientific research becomes very easy. Why so? Because any revenue expense, any capital expense, any type of contribution, okay, to IIT, yes, everything we can claim deduction to the extent of 100%. Earlier there were different percentages involved. Now it is straightforward 100 for all. That's why I am specifically not revising it in today's session. Okay. 35 AD. What is beauty of 35 AD? It allows you deduction for any type of investment which you are doing in specified businesses. What are the specified businesses? There are these 14 specified businesses. Ankush, what is the concept? Concept is like this: hospital with 100 beds or more for patients is started. So it's a good initiative. It is like building medical or health infrastructure in your country. So उसको encouragement मिलनी चाहिए. So what's the encouragement given? Encouragement given is 100% deduction for capex. क्या होगा इससे? What will happen, Kashish, because of this? Your PGBP will substantially go down. So such 14 businesses are identified. How many? 14. In that, deduction will be allowed to the extent of 100% of capex. Okay. 2-star or above category of hotel. So you can go through these businesses. 2 types of housing projects, production of fertilizers, and you can go on. Of course, in this business, if you do expense for land, goodwill, or financial instrument, deduction will not be allowed. Further, Aditya, what can happen is there could be heavy deduction under section 35 AD. It could be so heavy. Why heavy? Because it's capex. So it could be so heavy that you do your normal business profits minus these deductions and you get a loss. Means what, Kashish? Your normal business profit was 50 lakhs, but your capex, capital expense, because of 35 AD is 125 lakhs. So what will happen? There will be a loss of 75 lakhs. This loss will be carried forward. For how many years it can be carried forward? It can be carried forward for unlimited number of years. Agreed? But it can be set off only against income from specified business. So Darshan, loss from specified business can be set off only and only against income from specified business. Is it agreed? Did you understand all the things that we discussed till now? Yes, very good. In general deductions, 2 points you have to understand. Do you know CSR expenses? Corporate social responsibility? Yes. And do you know advertisement expenses, where advertisement is given in souvenir of political party? These two are not allowed even under section 37, because CSR might be compulsory as per Companies Act, but CSR is as good as donation. So government says don't allow it even under section 37. In short, yes, very good, it is application of income, it is not an expense. So government says don't take it as general deduction. So in short, it will not be allowed anywhere. So if you find CSR on debit side of P&L, you add it, disallowed. If you find donation to political party or amount given for making advertisements in journal of political parties, these all will be disallowed. Correct? Agreed all of you till this point? Wonderful, wonderful. Now listen to what I am telling you. I hope friends you have understood 32, 37, 35 AD and even 35 scientific research expense. So I wanted you to understand these deductions. What do? You allow these deductions, correct? So if they are debited rightly, don't touch them, but if they are not debited, minus them. Agreed, all of you? Yes, very good. Now I want to speak about specific disallowances. मुझे अब क्या बोलना है? What I have to talk about now? Specific disallowances. Okay, थोड़ा इन कंसेप्ट्स को ग्रास्प करो. अभी क्या डिस्कस किया 2 मिनट के लिए. I'll just have a glass of water and come back, and then we will discuss specific disallowances. Don't go anywhere. देवियों सज्जनों, ब्रेक लेके आते हैं, कहीं पे भी मत जाइए. I am back. Literally 2 घोट पाणी प्यायचं होतं. मीन्स कशिश कुछ नहीं, ओनली 2 sips of water, that's it. लिटरली उतना ही करना था. यस यस यस, हो गया. स्लोली पी के हो गया. विद ग्लूकॉन डी हो गया. अब एनर्जी चाहिए ना 2 घंटे के लिए. बहुत कुछ समझाना है आपको. टैक्स ऑडिट समझाना है, प्रिजम्पटिव टैक्स समझाना है, राइट. What happened is, I'll tell you different examples. You tell me, you will only automatically recollect disallowances. Okay. Shraddha is doing business, and in her business she spent for printing and stationery. How much is spent for printing and stationery during the year? The amount is 3 lakh rupees. So 3 lakh she has debited. When she is calculating her PGBP, so I am calculating PGBP for her, I come to know that she has paid 25,000 rupees in cash on a single day to a single person as advertisement or as printing and stationery expense. So what to do with this 25,000? Yes, wonderful. Fully disallowed. Mind you, Kashish, I will like to modify your sentence. In this case, since amount in excess of rupees 10,000 is paid in any mode other than account paid check or bank draft or ECS on a single day to a single person, entire amount will be disallowed. In short, since payment is in cash in excess of 10,000 on a single day to a single person, entire 25,000 rupees will be disallowed. Darshan, right now how much we have debited? 3 lakhs. But so what is meaning of disallowances? Meaning of disallowance is expense usually allowed but specifically disallowed. Expense usually allowed. So usually full 3 lakhs should have been allowed. But mischief is done of paying in cash in excess of 10,000, that mischief is done for how much amount? Mischief is done for 25,000. So 25,000 will be disallowed. Kashish, got it? All of you understood? Who else is watching who has not switched on the video? Anup, understood? Trisha, understood? Miss Prived, understood? सुष्मिता जी अंडरस्टूड? क्यों वीडियो ऑफ करके बैठे हो? कि एकदम कंफर्ट जोन में गए हो? कंफर्ट जोन मीन्स डायरेक्ट. सुकेता इज सिंग यस, कंफर्ट जोन में गए. हिम्मत कैसे हो गई यस बोलने की? ओके चलो, अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ चलो समझ में आ गया ना. डोंट गो इन दैट कंफर्ट जोन. मतलब ऐसे लेट के मत देखो, कुछ फायदा नहीं है. या अपना ये देखो, कौन दर्शन देखो, सी दर्शन, सी श्रद्धा, सी कशिश and see Ankush, how sincerely they are sitting. Sure, good. Let's see, let's go ahead. Second example. Yes, Anup is proving that yes, he is also sitting sincerely. और किसको प्रूव करना है? Let my screen be full of your visuals. प्रीवेद, कल तो आपने ऑन किया था वीडियो, कल तो आप एकदम सिंसियर मोड में थी. even Trisha was on sincere mode. So what happened? Okay, PGBP है तो हाँ, all sincere. Oh, still sincere. Okay, चलेगा चलेगा. Okay, let's go ahead friends. One more example I'll give you now. You tell me, and whatever I told you just now about cash, that was under section 40, 4040, capital A in bracket 3. Okay, chalo. One more example I'll give you. Anup started business and देखो ये फायदा है. Anup started business and what he did is he paid rent to his family member who is falling in definition of relative. Okay, brother sister को rent pay किया, he paid rent. Now this rent paid in a year is 6 lakh rupees. If he would have taken such premises on rent from any other person, such premises from any other person who is not relative, then rent which he would have paid in the year would have been say 3,20,000. So what's the extra rent which he has paid? Extra rent which he has paid is 2,80,000. Very good. This 2,80,000 will be disallowed. Yes. Why disallowed? As good as Anup is showing unnecessary expense in his books. When he shows unnecessary expense in books, what happens? NP unnecessarily goes down, means PGBP goes down. So don't you think income tax officer का ego hurt होगा? They will receive less tax ना? So disallowed. तो in short, मजाक की बात छोड़ो, but every assessee would have done this way, would have shown extra expenses towards their relatives and would have diverted their profits. So is it allowed or not allowed? Such things. Such things are not allowed. So not allowed means yes, unreasonable amount should be added back. This is given in 40A2. 40 capital A in bracket 2. disallowed. Did you understand, all of you? Okay. पर्पसफुली स्टोरी फॉर्म में बोल रहा हूं तो याद रहेगा. ओके चलो, आई गो टू नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल. नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, there is one academy in Chennai which has to pay me some amount as professional fees. So for them it is expense. Agreed. For me it is income. It is given in Income Tax Act. We will see probably day after tomorrow when we are doing TDS provision, tax deducted at source, that when they pay me professional fees in a year in excess of 30,000, they should do TDS. They should deduct my tax at source at 10% under section 194J. This is revision batch, so I can use these sections. Don't get demotivated. You know this section. What mistake they do is they don't deduct TDS. They make full payment of 1 lakh to me. Now they have debited 1 lakh in P&L account, which anyways they should have debited. No problem. Point is, government says they have not done TDS. So of that 1 lakh, 30% will be disallowed. How much will be disallowed? 30%. Not full 1 lakh. 30%. So this is non-compliance with provisions of TDS. So when TDS is not done, then 30% of expense is disallowed. Not amount of TDS. Listen carefully, Ankush. In P&L account, how much have they debited? Expense amount. What's the expense amount? Expense amount is 1 lakh. Of 1 lakh, you calculate 30%. Rupees 30,000. Yes, very good. It is 40AIA section. 40, small a in bracket IA. Close the bracket. 40AIA. And yes, it is only for residents that 30% is disallowed. If such payment is to be done to NR, then it is full amount that is disallowed. Section is 40AI. This is IA, that is only I. Agreed? Aditya understood? Yes, sir. Okay. Can you rectify this mistake? Can that academy rectify this mistake afterwards? Yes, they can rectify. How will they rectify? In the next PY, they will deduct my tax at source. When in next PY, they deduct my tax at source, then in that PY, they will be allowed deduction of this 30,000 rupees. Agreed? Yes, Anup got it? All. One more thing, listen carefully. This is very practical thing. It is actually my income tax, na? Even if it is TDS to be done by them, it is my income tax. So finally, don't you agree that in the assessment year, I will pay income tax fully, even if they don't do TDS? उन्होंने TDS नहीं किया तो मैं क्या टैक्स नहीं पे करूंगा? I will pay tax na myself. When I pay tax myself, okay, then they can claim deduction. But they should obtain a certificate. They should furnish a certificate to government to that effect and prove that I am paying, na? In this case, payee has paid the income tax due. But Remember, they have to do it next year. Okay, got it, all of you? Now listen to one more thing. One more non-compliance could be there, that tax is deducted but not deposited. Means what? That academy debited 1 lakh rupees in P&L account as their expense, paid me 90,000. 10,000 they should have deposited with government on my behalf. But friends, they never deposited. Government will wait till 30 September, means till due date of filing ITR, government will wait. If still they don't deposit, then 30% of expense will be disallowed for them. Agreed? So what happened? 30 September was due date of filing return for them. They did not deposit 10,000 till that date. But उनको बाद में अक्कल आ गई. They deposited on 15th December 2022. Then they will be allowed deduction. But in PY 22-23, disallowed in PY 21-22, 30%, allowed in PY 22-23. Is it clear to all of you? बहुत पेशेंस लगता है ना समझने के लिए. यस, बट अंडरस्टूड आई होप. देखो ना, आज तो 16 लोग ही है, सैटरडे नाइट है, सब चले गए एंजॉय करने, अलग तरीके से एंजॉय करने चले गए. अच्छा, पीजीबीपी इफेक्ट मतलब क्या प्रॉब्लम से भागोगे या प्रॉब्लम्स का सामना करोगे? ठीक है, चलो, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड नाउ. लेट्स गो अहेड. आई होप 40 AI इज क्लियर. दर्शन क्लियर हो गया ना? दर्शन, इज इट क्लियर? यस. नाउ लिसन टू वन वेरी important section. I have debited in my P&L account bonus to staff. Correct? I have debited in my P&L account bonus to staff. But I don't pay it till due date of filing income tax return. Government says wait, disallow it completely. So there are certain expenses which will be allowed as deduction only if they are paid up to due date of filing ITR. No, not bad dates. आपको नहीं समझ में आया पॉइंट? आदित्य, I'll tell you now. Yes, very good, Kashish. Aditya, I am talking about 4 expenses, 4 payments which will be allowed as deduction only if they are actually paid. They will be allowed as deduction only on actual payment basis. One is payment to Indian Railways for use of their assets. Indian Railway के asset कौन use करता है? Companies, entities, godown use करती है उनका, godown. You must have seen Railways godown. So it is used by businessmen. One. Second, interest payable to banks. Third, certain amounts payable to employees, जैसे bonus, employers contribution to provident funds and other statutory dues. Okay, leave salary, ये सब चीजें. And friends, this what else? Statutory dues. Statutory dues जैसे कि GST, customs. So आदित्य, एक सिंपल एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ आपको. I'll give you a very simple example. Bonus you have debited in P&L account. Bonus, Aditya, you debited in P&L account totally 5 lakh rupees. तो आपने एंट्री क्या पास की पता है? बोनस अकाउंट डेबिट टू बोनस पेएबल or to outstanding bonus. Means have you paid it? You have not paid it. Now what happened is 31st March 5 lakh is payable. 30th September 2022 is due date of filing ITR. On 20 September you paid 4 lakh bonus. Now how much is not paid till 30 September? Till 30 September 1 lakh is unpaid. Very good. That 1 lakh will be disallowed. In other words, 4 lakhs will be allowed. Okay, understood? So certain expenses are allowed only on actual payment basis. बिजनेस करने वालों की कुछ लोगों की मेंटालिटी बहुत अच्छी नहीं होती है. It's not good mentality. They just hold the payments back. Now government says, ठीक है. Government says, can you follow mercantile system? Government says, okay, follow mercantile system. Means some deduction will be allowed on actual, most of the deductions will be allowed when you provide for them. Provide for them matlab when you pay is immaterial. But government says, ये जो चार है ना चार, these 4 which I told you, they will be allowed only when you actually pay. So in short, Shraddha, if you want deduction for them, you should actually pay. तो उसमें किसका फायदा है? Employees, bank, government and Indian Railway. इन 4 लोगों का फायदा है. Agreed? कम से कम डिडक्शन लेने के बहाने तो वो टाइम में पे करेंगे. The businessman will pay in time at least for claiming deduction. Agreed? Aditya, agreed? Got the point what we are discussing? Yes. I want to tell you one more thing. In our example, how much bonus had remained unpaid till 30 September? 1 lakh. Suppose, friends, that is paid on 10th October 2022, then it will be allowed in PY 22-23. Wonderful. समझ में है ना? In short, to sum up, 43B and 40AIA are temporary disallowances. Only for time being. Sometime in future they will be allowed when you correct your mistake. And 48.2 and 48.3 are permanent disallowances. Shraddha ne ek time, if Shraddha pays in one time above 10,000 in cash, can she reverse that afterwards? She cannot reverse. Exactly. That's why I'm calling it as permanent disallowance. Understood? All of you? Sure. Very good. Very good. So I hope heavy nahi hua hai. I hope you have understood the disallowances. Yes. Very good. So now you can take break nicely till 45. Digest all these things. When we come back, we are going to do what things? एक तो 40B करने वाले. 40B. 40B क्या है? What is 40B? एक firm and a firm. Yes. When firm gives remuneration to partners, how much will be allowed? And interest on partners' capital, 12%. You know it is 12% is allowed. Yes, wonderful. So वो 40 small b करेंगे. And we will do 44AB, tax audit. Very critical section, tax audit. 44AD, presumptive taxation for businesses. 44ADA, presumptive taxation for professionals. And 44AE, presumptive taxation for assessees engaged in transport business. Okay, all this section we will do. अभी खत्म हुआ है means I did not understand आदित्य. अभी खत्म हुआ है टैक्स ऑडिट. हाँ ओके, वो सीजन यू आर सेइंग 30 सितंबर. यस यस राइट. आई थॉट अभी पढ़ के खत्म हुआ है. चलो, यू आर सेइंग एज इफ यू आर इन्वॉल्व इन डूइंग द टैक्स ऑडिट्स. अच्छा चलो, सो व्हाट विल डू इज विल मीट एट 45. ठीक है, 10:45. टेक नाइस ब्रेक, कूल डाउन, then again we will build things. Okay, chalo, see you.